Hello guys, how are you doing? It's your girl Chimere. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm filming from Abuja, Nigeria. I'm so happy to be back. Yeah, today we're going to be continuing our series on 13 things that will get you through your teenage years. Yay! This is the final episode and I'm so excited about it. I have actually been learning in the process of making these videos. I hope you have also been gaining one or two things from them too. So you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, so that other people can also learn and, benefit from this channel. Thank you. So we've discussed 19 so far. We're going to be discussing the last 4 today. That's from 10 to 13 points. Let me know what points you remember from the last 2 videos. Let me know in the comment section. Yeah, so the 10th point, which I said we're going to discuss today, is good friends. Those are one of the fundamental things that you need in your teenage years. You also even need good friends all through your life. Good friends are very, very, very important. There are actually several passages that emphasize the need for good friends in people's lives, but we're going to be reading a few. Are there a few? It actually has the largest number of verses we've been using so far. We're going to be using 4 verses, but I'll be taking them one by one. So the first verse is going to be from Proverbs 18 verse 24. Proverbs 18:24. I'll read from here. It says, "A man that has friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother." I read it again. "A man that has friends must show himself friendly, and there's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother." So when you're talking about good friends, you have to be deliberate about the kind of friends that you keep. You have to be very deliberate about your friends. Yes, you don't friendship should not happen by chance in your life. What I mean, you can meet people by chance, but cultivating a friendship with individuals should be a deliberate thing. It doesn't mean that you will not be good, like you don't relate well with other people. You might have very good acquaintances, you might have work colleagues, you might have cool colleagues, but before you call somebody your friend, like a close friend, then you should be deliberate about it. My pastor used to share something about having an inner court. Say the heart of a human being should be divided, should be segregated. Just like when you go to people's house, you can't just enter somebody's house and go straight to the master's bedroom just like that when it's not your house and all of that. So there is the normal surrounding of the house, the outer courts, where pretty much anybody can be. Children can come there and play and all of that. That is to be like you should have an outer court in your life where you relate very well with every single person, everybody you come across in life. You should have a good attitude towards them, be respectful, honor your elders, honor people, respect people, listen to people, care for people, be kind to people. Yes, that's the outer court. Then when you go to people's house, you also know that you can actually be welcomed, and then they bring you into the sitting room and all of that. So that is you should also have a chamber in your heart where that's the sitting room, where there are some people who you actually permit into your life, people who begin to know you. Then there's the inner court, which is more like the master's bedroom, which is sacred. You need to protect your life, because people that are your closest of friends contribute a lot to who you turn out to be, to who the kind of person that you are. So your parents have done so much to lay a good foundation for you. They try to teach you so many things. They try to be there for you and all of that. So you need to allow only people that can make you better into the inner court. Be very, very, very careful. And also, you don't have to sit down and wait for good friends to come. If you know that there's some people that you benefit some things from, a friend should also add to your life. Should always add to your life. So you might not have like one friend that does everything, right? But there's some people that you really want to learn from. Let's say academics, for example. Some people might be better than you in some subjects, and you want to learn from these people. Or these people have been topping the class. You want to go close to them so that you can see how they read. They can influence you positively. Yes, that's why they say that he that wants friend was what? A man that has friends must show himself friendly. So you don't have to always sit down and wait for people to come to you. When you're okay, this person will be an addition to my life. You can also you can actually make yourself friendly, be friendly to the person, go and meet them. Yes, I'm very, very, when it comes to that, I don't mind. I can bring myself down to develop a relationship with people, especially when I know that, okay, yeah, there's something I want to learn from you, there's something I want to benefit from you. It's going to be a symbiotic relationship. I would bring something to the table and you also bring something to the table. So in life, you have to learn how to be very, very strategic when it comes to making friends. It should not just be by chance. Yes, so the other verse that has to do with friendship is Proverbs 17 verse 7. Proverbs 17 verse 7 says, excellent speech. Okay, is it? No, I think I missed it. Let's look at Psalms 41 verse 9. Psalms 41 verse 9. Psalms 41 verse 9 says, yeah, my own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, which did eat of my bread, has lifted up his heel against me. Yeah, my own familiar friend, in whom I have trusted, which eats my bread, has lifted up his heel against me. So why am I bringing this verse here? Because I want you to actually prepare your mind that not every friend that you make, not every friendship will be forever. And if you see this verse is actually speaking to betrayal, that, oh, this person that ate from my bread has raised his heel against me. What happens? A lot of people, when you talk to young ladies of today, they say, oh, please, I don't want to have anything to do with any church person. I don't want to have anything to do with any fellowship brother. I don't want to do this, because they've heard stories of people who got hurt or they were hurt themselves in the past. But I just want to let you know that only people who have access to you can hurt you. So yes, I want you to have that back of mind that while you are making friends, you are trying to, cultivate a relationship. Also have it at the back of your mind that as you are doing that, it means that this person has the ability to hurt you. So that's one reason why you should be very, very careful. Be very discerning when it comes to making friends. Be very, very discerning. And for example, if perhaps somebody hurts you, somebody does something wrong to you in the church, people that feel, oh, this is a Christian, why did this thing happen this way? Why did the person do this to me? Always remember that everybody is a human being first, and it should not now make you close your heart. I suffered from that actually. So when you get hurt, you now close your mind such that you just want to be a lone ranger. No, nobody goes so far alone. You need people by your side all the time. People are good ones that will make recommendations for you. They will write references for you. They will talk about you when you are not there. So whatever they say about you really matters. That's why you should not just say, oh, because I got hurt, I'm not going to be this person's friends again. I'm not going to be friends with anybody again. A relationship might not work. Dust yourself and move on. You probably even had a fault in it. Don't worry. Forgive yourself, as we learned before. Forgive yourself for whatever wrong it is. Anything you feel like you did not do well, just forgive yourself. Learn from the situation and move on. Yes, and move on. Yes. So the next point we are going to be looking at, which is our 11th point, is financial literacy. I'm so happy about this point. I'm very, very excited about this point because I'm an accountant, and yes, it annoys me when I feel like people do not understand financial literacy. But what does financial literacy mean? It means that you have learned finances, how to manage your finances, how to increase your finances, how to manage money. In simple terms, financial literacy is learning how to manage money, knowing how to manage money. So you have to cultivate that skill. It's actually a skill by building knowledge from when you are a teenager. You're not supposed to wait until, when you've now landed your first job, you now start struggling to save one or two things and all. No. What if you cannot manage? My mother always says, if you cannot manage 100 naira, you cannot manage 100 million. Yes. So it doesn't matter what amount of money you receive as, allowances or whatever. Learn how to save. Learn how to save money. Learn how to budget your money. You shouldn't just spend everything that comes to you. Learn how to save your money. Learn how to budget your money. Learn how to be accountable when you make mistakes. Yeah, some of us make unwise decisions with our finances. I remember when I was 7, I subscribed to this Ponzi scheme. Yes, I'm saying I'm not proud of it, but I did it at that time because I felt I needed to. It seemed like a very good deal. But you have to learn how to also invest, how to identify legitimate investment opportunities, and learn how to subscribe to them. You don't just go, remember, and say, oh, come, bring 10,000, we'll give you 100,000. You don't subscribe to such things. They're very, very risky. So learn financial literacy, and the Bible backs it up. The Bible is complete. So let's look at Proverbs 10 verse 5. Proverbs 10 verse 5 says, he becometh poor that dealeth with his slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. So you need to also be hardworking if you are going to be rich. The Bible said it clearly. If you're going to be rich, if you're going to have money, if you're going to have influence, be diligent, be hardworking. That's number one. So before you can save money, you need to earn money. And how do you earn money? By being diligent, working. So that's the first step. Earnings. Always try to increase your earning by being diligent, acquiring that skill, acquiring that knowledge, that would increase your earning. Then the next verse is the same Proverbs 11 verse 24. It says, there is that scattereth and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but it tendeth to poverty. So yes, you also have to learn how to give. So we're going to be discussing financial literacy and giving. You need to learn how to give. The Bible says there is the one that scattereth and yet increaseth, and there is that withholds more than is meet. Listen, withholds more than is meet. So the Bible is not saying don't withhold at all. The Bible is not saying, oh, don't save at all. No, the Bible is saying save, but also learn to give. Don't withhold more than is necessary. Don't save more. Don't be the kind of person that would probably earn and save all the whole 100%. You don't pay your tithes, you don't give, you don't do anything, and all of that. You will even be looking wretched. So learn how to budget, basically. Learn how to budget. Learn how to budget. When you've earned, learn how to budget. This is for my expenses. This is for my tithes, my offering. This is for giving. This is what I want to save. Right? Yep. I'm also going to be looking at the same Proverbs 20 verse 7. Proverbs 20 verse 7 says, the just man walketh in integrity, his children are blessed after him. Okay, I'm not sure that's the verse I'm looking for. 22. Proverbs 22 verse 7. It says, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. So be careful of debts. Sometimes debt is good when you have a business idea, you are sure, you've tested it, you are sure that this will work. You can borrow, get a loan to fund your business and have a plan to pay back. But also you have to learn not to borrow at every instance. Don't just borrow for unnecessary things. Don't borrow for what you did not need. Don't borrow to consume. I hope you understand that. Do not borrow to consume. Don't borrow money to go and buy clothes and shoes. Don't borrow money to go and eat in an eatery. No. Don't borrow money to go and take a girl out. No, that is very unwise. You should borrow for credible reasons. Borrow to build assets, not to increase your liabilities. Yeah. Then let's look at Ecclesiastes 11 verse 2. It says, give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for thou knowest not which evil shall be upon the earth. Give a portion to 7 and a portion to 8. So this verse actually refers to investing, having diverse investments. So give a portion to 7 or to 8, because you don't know which evil will come upon the earth. You don't know which of your investments would be fruitful or would crash, or you don't know, like the way the Nigerian economy is, for example. You can never really predict. The inflation rates are high and everything. So learn to diversify your portfolio. Learn it now. Begin to learn. So I'm not saying you have all the money in the world to begin to do all treasury bills and all of that, but begin to gain the knowledge now. Lay a foundation for financial literacy in your life. It's going to really help you a lot as an adult. Yeah. Then the next skill is digital skills. Some of you cannot use a computer. Let me tell you how I learned the first time I learned how to use a computer. So we didn't have a computer in my house when I was growing up, but I was in primary 3. Yeah, and then they brought a call member. She was supposed to be like our new computer mistress in school. You know what I did? I went to meet her. I noticed that when we go for computer classes, we go to the computer lab in school. Then there's some of my classmates who were very familiar with the computer. They would go and put it on. They'll start doing one thing or the other. Whenever we're having class activities, they always want to man the seat and all. So me, that I didn't have computer in my house, I didn't really know how to do so many things. I was just looking, trying to follow up in the class. So I decided, I went to meet her. In fact, sometimes when I think about what I did as a child, I wonder how I had in mind. Don't forget, I said I was primary 3. I was, I think, 8 years old at that time. I actually went to meet the computer mistress during a break period, like a normal breakfast period in school. And then I told her that, oh, please, I want to learn how to use the computer. And she taught me a lot of things. She taught me how to put it on, how to identify, okay, this is a CPU. Then we see how the CPU is different, the mouse, this one, the printer is connected to it. If you want to type, she taught me. And I think there was one, I can't remember, but there's one particular app that will teach you how to type fast. Then, so I spent most of my break period in primary 3 in the computer lab learning how to use a computer. I'm not joking now. So it's very important that you upgrade your skills, upgrade your knowledge. Don't limit yourself. Don't feel like, oh, because I didn't have this thing, whenever you go out, you now shy away. Like some of you are very timid because you've never seen this thing before, you shy away. No, you should be humble enough, and in fact, not humble, you should be wise and bold enough to ask for help, ask for direction when you don't really know some things. In fact, if you don't have the digital skills at this time, this 2021, you're actually missing out on a whole lot. You'll be struggling when your mates are soaring if you do not get digital skills. So now, if you don't have it, you can go and subscribe to a school, a IT school, where they can teach you how to use a computer, at least at the basic. Learn how to use a computer before we start talking about coding and all of that. Learn how to use a computer. Be digitally literate. It's going to help you to stand out. In fact, not to help you to stand out, to help you to keep up with the times, because things are rapidly changing in the world. Children now are starting up companies, are building apps and all of that. If you don't want to be a servant forever, you need to learn digital skills. You need to be wise, because that's what's relevant now. If you look at the book of 1 Chronicles 12, verse 32, 1 Chronicles 12, verse 32, it says, and the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do. Let me read it again. I'll read that, just that a part of the verse. Said, and the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do. Be a teenager, a man, a woman of understanding. Understand the times and the season. Understand what you need to do. And I'm telling you for free what you need to do in 2021. You need to be digitally literate. You need to know how to use a computer at the basic. That's basic. Knowing how to use a computer is basic. You need to improve on your Excel skills, improve on PowerPoint presentation, improve on your digital literacy. It is a basic. Be wise as sons of Issachar. Understand the times and the season. This is not the time where you cannot do a simple slide. No. If you're in that position, you are wrong. You need to go and learn. Go to a business center. Tell them you want to learn how to, at least the basic, understand how to use a computer. Understand the basic applications, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Learn those basics. They are very, very important. Then the last thing you need that will get you through your teenage years, the very, very last point, the 13th point. Who can guess? You need God. You need God. Yes. So you can get all the skills in the world. You can do everything, be bold, be assertive, get good friends, do everything. But if you don't have God, you would struggle. You would struggle. Having the Holy Spirit, having God in your life makes things easier for you. You're going to be living a life of ease when you have God in your life. Let's look at Jeremiah 1 verse 5. Jeremiah 1 verse 5 says, it says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nation. So God is saying here that before you were formed in your belly, I knew you. God is your creator. He already knows what he created you for. He knows the purpose for which that he wants you to fulfill in life. So you need him. You need God at the early stage of your life. It is good to find God early. It's actually a privilege, actually. Even if you are old, you're an adult, you're already in your 50s or your 60s, you're a grandmother, you're a grandfather, and you don't know God. You need to know God. It's not too late to know God, but it's better off to know God early in life. It's better to find God early, not find God because God is there. You don't need to find him. It's just for you to accept him. Accept God early in your life. Accept him as your Lord and personal Savior, and it's going to make your life easy. I'm not saying you will not have challenges, but no, you'll be smiling through it because you know that, you know who is guiding you. You know that definitely I'm coming out of this simple prayer. Say, Lord Jesus, I come before you and acknowledge that you are the Son of God. I ask that you come into my life and make me a new being. It's as simple as that. And Jesus Christ will make you a new being. He will lead you. He will teach you. He will be there for you. You need God in your life, my brother. You need God in your life. Dear teenager, you need God in life. You need God at every single stage of your life. You need to find God early. So you don't make unnecessary mistakes. So you don't struggle unnecessarily. You need God. I hope you learned a lot from this series. I personally have learned so much from this series. As I said before, like I'm really learning, I'm refreshing my mind on things I knew before and I probably forgot one way or the other, but then I'm refreshing my mind and I'm actually seeing the impact in my life. I'm happier. So doing these things, I'm not promising that your life is going to be perfect, but no, your life will be easier. You will be at peace. you'll be content, you'll be at peace, you have a sense of direction, you have a sense of focus, you know what you need to do part time, right? So thank you so much for staying true with me from the very first episode till the last episode on this series. I really hope you learned a lot. We're going to be putting out more content like this. I hope you like it. If you do, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to be putting out more content like this out here for teenagers. So if you have not already done that, share this link with your teenager, any teenager that you have around you. Share the link with them. Let them watch these videos and learn. Thank you. Take care. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in my next video.